What's up, everybody? You're listening to the Age Recap Podcast, and welcome to Night Vale. My name's Holo.
I'm Emily.
Jam.
And as always, the spirit of Gus.
Alright, so this is, our 10th time at least trying to record this. We had so many issues, so we're gonna hope this recording goes really, really well.
We're having an honorary posting of the technical difficulty music just because, in the link dump below. But let's get on to Achievement Hunter, finally.
Alright, so the GTA, which was Fat Stacks.
The most I know about this, given the fact that I went to a lake with my family and came back, and I stayed up and watched maybe about half into that video, and then fell asleep with my computer on my chest. I know barely anything about the fact except that they were going to get a bunch of money.
Alright, so yeah, we're gonna have that in the link dump because the only one who really watched it was Jam, and it's hard to have a conversation with yourself.
I mean, I do it all the time. Come on.
Alright, but
That's
go
true.
this week, oh my god, that was really, really good. And
That was
brilliant
amazing.
idea by Jeff. So if you haven't watched it, basically what Jeff did, he took the idea that he had a couple weeks ago where they had to kill one hunter and one brute, but they could only use one Halo game, and you couldn't kill the same creature in the same game as they had however many weeks before. I know in the video he mentioned that it was the week before, but it wasn't, because I don't remember what last week's was, but it was not this. I'm positive.
I think it was maybe even like in the old office.
No, it was in the new office. But it was like the first go in the new office. First or second.
Okay.
It was honestly an absolutely brilliant idea because it was just it was lazy idea, yes, but
It was a lazy idea, but it employed what they had done earlier, and it was creative thinking on Jeff's part.
Yeah.
Not to mention also, can we talk a little bit about how, like, Ryan just every now and again, like, in certain videos, he'll have these moments where he's just like, he's the most leisurely person in the world. He's like the most leisurely gamer out of all the guys. Like, most of the guys are like sitting up straight in their desk, or even like how Jeff does like the move around thing when he plays a game and gets into it. But Ryan will just like lean backward in his chair and just be like, move the mic the way he wants it and be like, time to go kill some motherfuckers. I'm like, I feel like that's just how Ryan works as a person. I am proud to share the same home state as him.
Speaking of Brian, though, his footage fiasco for however the fuck long, this is where I'd put his footage. If I had any!
If I had any, that was so perfect! I was so happy!
And then, I don't think anybody was surprised when Ray actually won that.
Because it's Ray! He wins, he's actually a very excellent gamer in the first place.
Yeah. And beyond that, he only needed one more to get a pizza, but it was cold.
And the pizza shout out in the Awu this week.
It was cold, but it was victorious.
I don't know, I like cold pizza just as a personal preference. I really like cold pizza. So, are you smarter than a 5th grader? The only part that I actually ever saw of that was Gavin attempting to figure out what the third Wednesday in June was. I don't know about you guys, but just thinking about it mathematically, there's absolutely no way that the 14th can be the third Wednesday in June.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I thought it was the 14th. And then I sat there for a second like, there's 14 days in 2 weeks. That's impossible.
He had the option hovering over the right answer for I don't even know how long. I think the entire time before he went with the 14th.
I still don't know what the right answer is.
To be multitasking, I have my Tumblr up in another tab while we're recording this, and I just scrolled past the stuff about Gavin with a banana. From this week's whatchamacallit?
Prop hunt.
Prop hunt. I enjoy prop hunt Let's Plays, and I was very happy to know that they finally did a prop hunt.
That was the first that I'd ever heard of it, and that night I ended up going and watching a couple other people play it. Just watching the prop hunt was really, really cool, because I've seen something similar in other games. To watch it and then see the different maps that they played was just really, really cool.
Not to mention just, like, stupid little things that they would do, and I was just like,
The banana, Ray and Jeff both hiding behind the same bookcase.
Oh, the banana.
The banana.
You walk into a room and there's a banana under the bed, and suddenly, Neum, it just it darts out of the room.
I thought it was really, really, really cool. I don't know if you guys remember when they did Gavin's heist. They were all dressed as bananas, and then they had the immersion with all the bananas, and then they had this with the bananas.
I feel it's like are they hinting at
Sure
something?
that they're starting to do a banana theme.
Bananas.
And dicks. Yeah, and Michael as the washing machine.
Ray just sat in front of the door and they didn't even notice. They went through and they're like, oh, I can't get into this room because there's a washing machine in the way. Never mind that I'm supposed to find things that can't move.
I think when Ray hid as the water bottle behind the bookshelf, that was pretty brilliant.
Jeff had just hidden behind there. That was actually really, really smart.
The props to him. Good one.
Jack's Cinderblock, though, he just sat there and didn't even see it. They walked past him I don't know how many times. I think, honestly, could be really, really confusing because there were so many Cinderblocks that were there in the first place. I don't know about you guys, but when I was watching it, I thought it was really, really easy to get turned around in there. It just seemed really, really easy to get turned around. And then when they discovered in that last map that they had only seen just a little bit of that map, can't wait for part 2 and see if they explore more of that map.
Yes. I've come to realize that for whatever reason, Jack and Ryan's voices, just both of them, like, they're team same voice, but, like, Jack's voice, I can differentiate between the two.
Yeah.
But not to mention, whenever, like, I can fall asleep to Let's Plays if they're the ones talking.
I remember I would see things that people are like, I can't tell if the difference between Jack and Ryan, and it was like, I can hear the difference, and I don't know if that's just a byproduct of having a lot of friends in a lot of different countries, or having cousins that have various speech impediments, or what that is, but...
Jack's voice is a lot more hearty, kind of, like, full, and Ryan's voice is a little bit crackly.
Jack's voice is more of more of a bass, and I'd say Ryan's is edging more towards a baritone.
Not to mention, you can also tell the difference between their humor and, like, I think I can hear the beard on Jack for whatever reason. It's hard to explain it, but I can hear the beard.
All right, so
I feel that's gonna become a t-shirt.
Minecraft really quick because we've talked a lot about that. Minecraft was really, really good, and I ranted to Kay a little bit because in another Skype group that I'm in, they were like, King Gavin hype, and I was like, Ray tweeted a while ago, and I don't have the exact tweet. Ray was like, King Gavin confirmed, we haven't even recorded it yet. I went to the AH website to see what it was, and I was like, cause they were so excited, and I was like, it's, Enter the Negatower Part 2, and they were like, aw, and then somebody was like, wait, it's not up yet, we don't know for sure, and I was like, I'm on the webpage right now, but Enter the Negatower was a really, really good, I really liked that, just like that entire idea. I would have probably personally made it with dispensers, but that's just me, but they had a really good system for what they were doing. Jack was so set on being the first person to get kicked out of a Let's Play, and it was just, I felt really, really bad for him when he was really disappointed that he didn't get kicked out. I think he did end up getting the last bit of Negatower, but for the longest time he was just like, I can't even lose. And then the Ryan and Gavin showdown. I had my absolute heart in my chest. I was like, I don't know who I want to win more, and they were like, oh, if you don't let Gavin win, they're gonna be bad or whatever, and it's like, no, that's gonna be a small percentage of the people that are gonna be really, really disappointed. Which one of them wins? I just want one of them to win. Yes. Their entire sign war was just amazing. The turn-free moment with Gavin Turney, I melted. I just melted. Kay wanted us to mention Meg got hired, not because she's fucking Gavin, but because of her own merits.
And her fucking amazingly glorious amount of just amazing things that she can do and what she can contribute as a person to the community, and she's earned this place.
I watched some of her SourceFed stuff, and she is just a really, really good host in general, and it's just, when people say that, it's like, have you not watched anything that Meg's done? I watched one of her personal videos, and she mentioned that Gavin accidentally hit her or stepped on her or something. It was just really, really awkward about it, and it was just, oh, it was so cute. Alright, there's an immersion from this week.
Immersion! It is the Trials Files Evolution thing. Trials Fusion.
Jack was on it. Jack in a lab coat. Anyway, I was discussing this with a few other people, and we aren't sure if the part where Bernie mentioned that they thought Michael was basically dead or had been really seriously injured. We're not sure if that was a take that they didn't use or if it was on one of the ones that they showed, but watching it was just, it wasn't a hard course, but it was still to the point where it was like, are they going to be okay?
I think the part was when, he, like, fell off the bike or something, and then he just kind of laid there for a few seconds. He twitched a little and then just stopped.
That's what I thought it was. And he then started kind of just, like, moving around a lot and adding, Bernie called them game mechanics. That's what I thought it was, but the people I was talking with weren't sure. So, I was really, really amazing because I know that Michael mentioned that or if it was Bernie that mentioned that Michael did the practice course that they had set up, and then Gavin hadn't. And then Michael had more trouble at the beginning.
He, like, lost control of his bike.
Gavin is a really good, just a really good Trials player in general. Like, if you've watched the Trials Files, I know in particular Trials Files number 7, Jeff and Millie, they mentioned that they had Gavin do it for them. Or maybe it was number 9. It was one of the earliest ones. I don't remember.
Gavin and his testicular problems.
Yeah.
Riding bicycles. Yeah. That he was kind of worried about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Gavin and Michael in freaking motorcycle jackets.
Yes.
I want one of those motorcycle jackets, but they look a lot like snowmobile jackets. A lot less thick, but
I mean, I assume that they padded them a little more because they know they're both terrible at everything.
I really hope that they did pad them a little bit more, because just on the basis that they're both pretty thin. They're riding a low-powered motorcycle. You could easily tell that it was really, really low-powered. But at the same time, you're also doing it on a hard dirt track. You're letting them get, I think they maybe hit 15 miles an hour. So let's move on to the things to do, which was in GTA and I believe called Juggernaut.
What the premise of Juggernaut was is that you had a long stretch of highway that was lined with these blue panels that you had to hook up the trailer hitch onto, like, to run a semi from that end down all the way to a frozen docking bay thing. And to do that, and so that there was 2 people who were doing it, which was Michael and Ray, and for them to stop them, they were running at them in Mini Coopes.
Okay.
And it was fucking hilarious.
That doesn't sound like it would stop a semi.
It doesn't sound like it at all. Like, the guys at a certain point when they were, like, coming back from it, they'd be gotten thrown off the rails from where they were going. And so at a certain point, it, like, did, like, a montage of, like, Jeff, Ray, Ryan, and Jack all hitting the semi straight on in the Mini and just getting, like, completely bunched and spun around off into the opposite direction.
Yeah.
And it was freaking hilarious. And then, by the halfway point of that, Gavin's car essentially looked hilarious. It's like its wheels looked like as if they were crossing their legs as if they had to go pee.
We can talk about the Let's Build. I watched about half of it.
From what I can conclude, because I've seen the whole thing, there was building and talking. That's all I have
Ryan
to say.
jumped in for a minute.
Yeah, he did. And then there was talk of dicks.
What ended up happening with Ryan, if you haven't seen it, is that Jeff had to leave the room. I think he was going to go get something to drink. And Ryan jumped in his spot. And basically he and Gavin wandered around each other talking about if Ryan would keep having sex, even if it meant that all the food in his kitchen went back. I think they spent a good 3 minutes on that.
It was every time he orgasmed.
Don't remember. It was... I think you're right. I think it was every time that he orgasmed.
Yeah.
I really liked how Ryan then turned it into, well, is it just the cupboards in my kitchen, or could I build cupboards in my living room? I liked how that ended up. My question was, what about non-perishable foods? Because, like, you have, like, boxes of instant mashed potatoes. That stuff doesn't go bad. And it's not because of whatever preservatives that they put in, it's because it's mashed potato flakes. So my question is, would that count? And if so, how would it go bad? Would it just grow mold on it, or what?
No.
I'm kind of like Ryan in the sense that I try to figure out a lot of loopholes, and I tend to think about things a lot more logically than Gavin tends to do. So,
Yeah.
we're just gonna make a brief mention of Power Star Golf
Because golf is amazing.
because I've never played golf, and I really like the mini golf series, but I wasn't a big fan of the first Power Star Golf, and I don't know if it was just the difference in game mechanics or what. I did like how they kept Jeff and Ryan and Michael and Ray as the four doing the golf ones, just as a little bit of continuity.
The rage quit this week was the VVV. It was a bunch of V's. Part 2.
I fucking hate that game. I got so fucking angry, I threw my computer. Like, I threw my computer to the edge of my bed and just was like, fuck it! Fuck! No! Fuck this shit! I am done! And just like, full on just like, nope! And I have not played that game since.
Did you guys play it before or after Michael did the rage quit in it?
Before.
Like, I just have a question for you guys. Is it more fun to watch somebody else play it and get really frustrated by it, or was it more fun to get frustrated by it? At least for me personally, I like watching Michael play the rage quit videos. I enjoy hearing him mad and things like that, and some of the things that he says end up coming out really, really creatively. But I'm more of a fan of playing a game and then getting frustrated myself at it, because for me it's more enjoyable to play a game and get frustrated by it than watch somebody play it and get frustrated by it. And I don't know why.
And just so the audience, you guys know, the V's, there's 6 of them, yep. I believe. They stand for the names of the people that your character has to rescue.
Oh.
And I don't remember what their names, but they all start with V. There's like Violet, and that's about all I remember. And I'm not even sure if that was one of their names, but I know that all start with V.
Alright, let's stop.
Yeah, this concludes the pod crash.